And first place standing goes to Sherise. Sherise will have the gold-colored cord. To present 2 scholarships to 2 dedicated, deserving, and hardworking students. In the amount of $1,000, a scholarship for valedictorian goes to Sherise.
Good evening, teachers and staff, guests, friends, and families. To the people who have seen a million graduations in their time, this may feel just like the others, but I'm here to prove to you how special your support and care for our class has made this past school year unlike others. I'd like to think of this past school year the way I think of juggling. My fellow graduates might remember me talking about juggling during my president campaign speech. I explained that just as I am able to juggle juggling balls, I am able to take on responsibilities that come with being class president. But I realized that juggling can mean so much more than that. In order for juggling to actually look like juggling, you need at least 3 objects. I like to think of each juggling ball as a major contributor to what made this school year so memorable to me. This first juggling ball represents our supporters, staff, and families who have put so much effort into giving us a great spiritual education. When we first started this school year, our staff and teachers showed particular attention to teaching us how to become leaders with God. Skills that we will carry out for the rest of our lives, whether it be at future jobs, at the church, and especially when we enter a new chapter of our lives when we enter high school. To do this, the staff organized the first spiritual retreat or lock-in at our school. We were the first grade 8s to experience this. At the lock-in, we stayed at school overnight during the retreat from Friday evening to Saturday night. During this, we had guest speakers have workshops in order to teach us about how we have an influence and can make a difference, did activities and games that strengthened our relationship throughout the class, and most of all, grew together as a class to become leaders of the school with the guidance of God. No matter how long I talk about this 2-day event, we will never be able to show you how much our class appreciated it. I'd also like to mention our families for being such supporters for our education. They've paid for our tuition fees, field trips, class trip, and even set up these wonderful decorations for our graduation. To all our supporters, we'd like to thank you for being a major contributor to our education. This second juggling ball, fellow graduates, represents you. You've helped me grow with enjoyment and excitement. On the grad trip, though we were stuck on a train for about 4.5 hours, it was still one of the most fun parts of the entire trip. Even on the train back, when it smelled, we were still in it together. I have never felt more connected with my entire class in all my elementary years. Through the good times and the smelly times, thank you. You are a major contributor to making this past school year enjoyable despite the struggles of grade 8. My last and most important juggling ball represents God. Before every test, I've prayed for him to help me recall my memory. Throughout the doubts whether I'm going to be able to finish an assignment in time, he's always been there whenever I call. Not only has he helped me in the bad times, but he's also been so generous by giving us staff, teachers, and parents that care about us. Without God, we wouldn't have had such supportive parents who do so much so we can be here. Or the teachers and staff who stay up so late so then we can enjoy our last year here at CPES. I praise God for the many blessings he has given us. Whether we realize it or not, he has always been there. Each one of these things are great on their own, but we need all three of them to work together in order to juggle. If we just had our friends, who would teach us? And if we just had our supporters, it would be nowhere near as fun as it was with our friends. Even with 2 juggling balls, it's okay, but it's only once we add God into the picture. That's when everything comes together. These 3 contributors are what made my last year in elementary school so memorable. When we move on into our next step of education, we must remember our supporters, friends, and God. And if we have all 3 of these work together, we are able to juggle whatever life throws at us. Thank you.